Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's press conference. I want to thank my colleagues for being here with me today. Martin Heinrich, Senator from New Mexico, a good friend of mine, and Joe Courtney, Congressman from Connecticut, who came in with me in the House in 2006. Right. So it's good to be surrounded by friends, and as you can tell, this is Republicans and Democrats trying to move forward on a piece of legislation. The reason we're here, and I can't overemphasize the importance of this, and that is that I think we're talking about a piece of legislation here that outside the budget process, and the budget itself is probably the most important piece of legislation that has to pass before the end of next year. In fact, I will tell you right now, I think it is a piece of legislation that will pass by the end of next year. And what we're talking about, of course, is the Cadillac tax itself. We're talking about a 40% excise tax on all health care plans over a certain threshold that will affect our states and this country as a whole. In the state of Nevada, we have roughly about 3 million people that live in the state, and this particular tax will affect about 1.3 million of them, about 40%. I have not seen a piece of legislation that brings more sides together. Not only Republicans and Democrats, as you can see up here right now, but unions, large business, big business, seniors, public employees. Every group and organization out there has contacted my office about the importance of this piece of legislation. It doesn't matter what the constituency base may be, and that's why you see a bipartisan group up here. I want to thank my colleagues, especially Joe, for the work that he's done on the House side. He has, and I'll let him speak more about this, but he has done a tremendous job in getting Democrats to sponsor this piece of legislation. I think 130 plus Democrats in the House are supporting this piece of legislation. They got over the 218 threshold for a piece of legislation that can pass the House, and Marty and I are going to do the same thing on the Senate side. And I think we're going to see a breakthrough now. I can't thank him enough, Marty enough, for coming on board last night on this important piece of legislation. Again, this is a 40% excise tax on health care bills that will be that will come into effect in 2018. So we want to stop that. We want to stop that from happening. This affects everybody, middle class. This affects seniors. My concern is, and I can see a scenario where every public employee in the state of Nevada, across this country, become part of the Affordable Care Act because of the impact of this particular tax itself. Why are we talking about it today? Is because of the negotiations that employers have with their employees. We have unions, as some of you may be aware of, in Southern Nevada, the largest unionized city in the country, that are now trying to figure out what they're going to be doing by 2018. So for this to happen in December of 17 doesn't make a lot of sense. They want to know, and they want to be able to plan, not just the unions, but big business, small business, seniors, middle class, lower income, you name it. They want to know what their health care plans are going to be. So with that, that's why we're here. We want to repeal this onerous tax. I'd like to introduce Senator Heinrich from Mexico for his thoughts and comments.